Hi everyone, a quick project update. I have made some progress on my Wi-Fi controller or wireless controller for my, well, that's going to be my 7.25 gauge train. And the reason I'm doing that and the reason I'm being quiet for a couple of weeks on this project, because this Saturday, well, the coming Saturday is going to be an open day in the Railway Museum where I'm supposed to go. So I'm making a huge gamble that this new controller is going to work, because the plan is that I'm going to fit this controller and the wireless receiver and the wireless throttle in the engine with some new batteries that I also purchased, and that all needs to be ready by Saturday, which means that it's going to be little or no testing whether this works as a system. And well, more importantly, I don't know how reliable it is going to be over that day when I'm going to be running my trains. And the only thing which is special about this Saturday, it is the, I think it's called the Museum of Nights event, which is, I don't know whether it's a Hungarian thing or it's in other countries as well. But in that specific day, the museums are free to enter. All the museums are free to enter between, I think it's 6 and midnight or 1 a.m. And the Railway Museum is also going to be open until 1 a.m. So I should be able to run the trains from the morning all the way to 1 a.m., which is going to be exciting because, well, I will be running during the night and I have lights, so it should work. So, quick thing on what I've been doing. First of all, thanks to PCBWay, because the new PCBs have arrived. So this is my PCB for the controller. And well, I have created the first prototype here, and based on this PCB, I also created this 3D printed a case, which is not complete yet. It needs some other pieces that I've already printed, but it's in the shed, in the garage. I need to, you know, make the surface a little bit more smooth. So I applied, what is this? This filler that I need to find. So anyway, it's not here. So this is the PCB, and probably it's easier if I show it in the controller. So I have the ESP32 here. On the other side, I have two switches. So this is ignition and that's direction. And I have a rotary encoder, which is going to be for the speed control. I have the display here. And yeah, unfortunately, the display is not centered. So I yeah, I messed up the design. And anyway, I also messed up the PCB because unfortunately the screen is not centered between these two switches and the hole is bigger. But anyway, this is the first iteration. So that's going to, you know, followed up with more stuff. And also what I've added to this PCB is I have a motor. This is the vibration motor that I got from an old phone. And so I'm getting some tactile feedback. So the plan is that I should be able to drive the loco by not really looking at the screen. I mean, I can look to check the speed and everything, but I don't want to do that if I don't need to. So yeah, that's the vibro motor, and that's pretty much it. And other than that, I have a key pad as well. So 1 to 3 are the different lights. 4 to 9 are the different sounds, and A, B, C, D are going to be various screens that I can choose from. And it is already working, and for the time being, I'm planning to use this Blitzwolf power supply or power bank, which is absolutely an overkill, but I have this ready, and I didn't have time to build a proper power supply. So if I just plug it in and turn it on, you can see the throttle comes to life, and you can probably hear the vibration motor as well. So this is going to be the screen where the ignition is turned off. So I'm getting 2 red arrows showing that it's not, well, it's not running, so it's stopped. And then I get the arrows when I'm changing direction, and when I start moving, then you have these speed thing, and that's how I can control the speed. Yep. And oops, let me turn it down. And on the top, I'm just getting some data on the Wi-Fi signal strength, and I'm also getting some numbers like what is the response time from the server. And you can probably see here the lights are being switched on and off using the buttons 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't, sorry, 1, 2, 3, because 1 is the directional headlights and 2 and 3 are the auxiliary lights. And I also have the various sounds here. So, and you know, all the way to 9. And this is my default screen where it shows me the battery voltage, it shows me the amps on both of the controllers and the temperature of each of the controllers. And I can switch to a screen which shows me the battery voltage in bigger digits and then the current in bigger digits. And this current seems to be all over the place, so I'm not really sure how accurate that is. And probably which is going to be more important is the temperature, because it is getting really hot here. So I think by Thursday we are expecting like 35 degrees. Hopefully it's going to cool down to 29 for the Saturday, but it's definitely going to be hot. So I think I will be watching this temperature a lot, making sure it doesn't overheat. I don't even know I mean, probably there is a thermal shutoff on this controller, but I wouldn't be able to install any fancy cooling. So it has to do with the airflow which comes through the front grille of the loco, and hopefully that's going to be sufficient. And if I stop, I also get a vibration feedback, because obviously, when you are using a rotary encoder, there is no end stop. So I need this feedback, so I don't have to look at the speed in order to tell when the loco is going to stop. And if I need to do any emergency stop, I can just flick this button, the off, and that sends an off command. So it just decelerates to a complete stop. I mean, it's not a lot, but this is what you would need. And I still have a couple of buttons, so I could implement some, changes here, maybe sending some commands to change the volume, maybe that I can do in the future, but well, definitely not now. So the main focus is now, you just get the case ready, mount this power bank, and of course install the whole thing in the loco, and hopefully everything is going to work. And I'm planning to do this in the next couple of days, so maybe I have some really limited testing in my garden just to make sure that the whole thing works. And the real testing is going to be on the open day, which is a little bit scary, but hopefully everything is going to be okay. So, fingers crossed. And yeah, you can probably expect a video on that sort of like maybe Sunday or Monday, when I manage to cut the footage from the whole open day, and especially the night running, because I'm really looking forward to that. So that would be all for today. So that will be all for today. I can't promise you that I'm going to upload all the videos to the PCB and to the project. I've already created the GitHub link, because I need to put I had to put the link onto the PCB design, but it is empty at the moment. So, but it should be nice. I don't know if I'm going to make a second version of this PCB. Obviously, that screen is a little bit off. This should be further down to the right, so the screen is centered between the two buttons. Also, once I start using this, I would have to see how comfortable this speed dial is. For the time being, it looks like that it's really close to these buttons. So maybe I need to make this PCB even larger, so I have more space between the rotary encoder and the two switches, because the keypad is anyway different or separate from this board. So I just have the connectors for the keyboard, but that's pretty much it. I mean, otherwise it's a nice PCB. And what I have done, because I had the extra space, I also added these breakout pins. So if I need to do anything else with this board, beside, I was also thinking maybe I'm going to install some LEDs. So I just get some color LEDs, which is going to tell me something like direction or speed. So again, if I don't have to look at the screen and read the small letters. but I haven't included in this design. But because I have the breakout boards, I should be able to reuse any of the unused pins and then just solder onto these buttons, or sorry, into these locations here. So, it's okay. As I said, it's looking really good for the time being. I'm really happy with this, and yeah, some other change that I would like to make is that, yeah, this vibration motor, I just put it in the wrong place because it doesn't fit that way, and now it's over the flyback diode. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't really thinking. I had to rush this design a little bit, which I'm. Um, Well, but as I said, this is version 1.0, and I had to rush this a little bit just to make sure that I'm going to be ready in time. Also, I had some holidays as well. But I think that would be all for today. But I think that would be all for today. Even if I don't get the side. Na jó, van, akkor ezt felveszem újra. Na, jó, elmeséltem a PCB-ről, azt ki lehet vágni. But I think that would be all for today. I can't promise that by the time I release this video, the project for the PCB and also the code is going to be up and running on GitHub and PCBWay, but I will try to do it in just in a few days. So if you are interested in either of these, well, of course, just like with any of my other projects, well, the lock remote, this is going to be on GitHub. So you can order your PCBs and you can just download my firmware and build your own. And just one more thing about the controller software or the Throttle software, it's it's not final. It is only designed to run with the well, not the version, but it is designed to run with this Sabertooth controller. But what I'm planning to do in the past is I'm going to just modify the code so it also works if you are using this lock remote to drive a G-scale locomotive. So of course then the screen has to be a little bit different, and maybe I'm also going to include some initial screen where, let's say you have multiple locomotives and you can select which loco that you want to control with the throttle at the moment. So you can use one throttle with multiple locos, but that's definitely coming in the future. Maybe it's going to be my winter project, just to have a version 2.0 on this, and probably that would be accompanied by a version 2.0 of the PCB as well. So thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.